But there we go. So good morning. And this morning on Carolyn's Chit Chat, I'm chatting to Steve Woods. Good morning,
Morning.
Steve.
Good morning.
Good to see you
Thank you
here.
for having
Thank
me
you
on
very
here.
much. Uh,
I say thank you for having me on.
no problem at all. So what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
Okay, so a few things, and I suppose one of them is probably still connected to work a little bit, but I generally like to get out in the countryside if I can. I think nature is really good for us, and we should try and get out there. And before I started recording, we were talking about the temperature and things, and that makes a difference depending on what you
Yes.
enjoy being outside in. Um, and but what I've always looked for, because it's so easy, I think, for work to capture your attention and stop you doing that, particularly if you work for ourselves, that I've always strived to find something to make me go outside.
Hmm.
So I'd like to do a bit of fishing, go and sit by the riverbank or wherever. But again, that is a nicer weather pastime. So
Yes,
I'm
it
just
is.
getting to yeah, I'm just starting to get into that weather this end. And it is something as well that my younger kids like to do sometimes as well. So
There's a
there's a
sort of
bit
family
more than just
activity,
going out.
really.
Yeah, yeah, and we have also got a little one of my networking groups locally. We have got a little fishing group within there that's not gone out yet because we only set it up in the winter. So we are actually planning some networking fishing trips. So we'll probably talk
Network
about all
fish.
sorts of rubbish,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it gets us out. And then the other thing I do to try and do that is, and I don't like the word try, I shouldn't use the word try, but to endeavour to get out in the countryside is I do a thing called geocaching.
Oh no, I've
So
heard of that. That's where you go out, you have a map or something, and something's hidden in a box somewhere, or a
yeah,
tin
it's
or something.
basically looking for Tupperware in the woods is because they're often in little Tupperware boxes hidden away.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a big network of geocaches hidden around the world, and it just saying I do it, I haven't done it for a couple of months, and it's one of those things that's bubbling away in the last few days.
Yes.
Has been thinking I ought to get out there and do a bit more, because it will take you to places you've never been to before.
Mm.
There are certain types of geocaches that are maybe a bit more specialized or bigger containers,
All right.
or they have earth
It sounds
caches, which are
intriguing.
so yeah, it's quite varied. There are puzzles, they're not competitions, but they're puzzles you have to solve sometimes to find where one is, or you might have to go
Mhm.
to several of them and get clues out of each of them to then
Right.
find the last one. So yeah, you can end up. It's one of those things as well. Near me, the canal's got lots of them along it, and you sort of get to where you think you're going to go, and then you're like, well, I might just go get the next one. I might just go get the next one. So
Yes.
you end up walking a lot further. You end up getting a bit more exercise
Which
as
is the
well.
whole
So
point, isn't it, at the end of the day?
yeah, yeah, that's it. And it's getting, like I say, it's getting out there. And I know, when I've been on holiday places, I'll go looking for them and end up discovering somewhere completely new because I've
Mm.
gone looking for a geocache there. So
Fascinating.
yes,
And it became very big a few years ago, didn't it? And you don't hear so much of it now, but maybe,
no.
sort of delving into put a search into the computer for geocache and it'll probably erupt with the
Oh
with the
yeah, I mean, there's lots online, and I can't
right.
remember what the figure is now. I want to say it's 30 million a few years ago were hidden in the
Gosh.
world. There's lots hidden around the world. So there's always one
Wow.
nearby. Even if you're in the cities, there are still, they're not, maybe not the easiest ones to find because it's a little bit secretive.
Yes.
They talk about, muggle, the language is muggles, Harry
Mug-
Potterish, people who don't geocache are known as muggles, so you don't want to get discovered by them. But you don't want to go. It does look a bit weird, and I have been stopped by the police
As
once
long as you
while I
don't
was
have to
doing.
dress up in anything.
No, you don't
No.
dress up. But yeah, we were once out. I was out with my son in on Cannock Chase looking for one, and we were literally sort of walking around this tree, looking around, and the police pulled up to ask us what we were doing. Yeah, because it probably did. They probably thought we'd lost something up the tree or something like that, and were considering climbing it maybe. But
So
yeah,
presumably all the boxes are within sort of reach. You don't have to sort of climb a tree or anything like that.
no, some you do have to climb a tree, but
Oh.
or cross water. There are some there are extreme levels of geocaching, but most of
Oh.
them are and probably most common ones are little magnetic ones that are stuck to the back of these roadside boxes, the internet
Yeah.
boxes, or on the back of signposts, things like that. So most of them are quite
Gosh.
not really a challenge, but some of them have got good disabled access, of course, as well. So it
Yeah.
opens it up as well. But then yeah,
Inclusivity.
there are
Yeah.
some that are and these aren't ones that I've gone after that may be on top of mountains, on top of big hills. So you've got to
Oh,
climb up there. Somewhere I've read about where they like maybe a canal bridge and they're inside the top of the bridge. So you've got to scramble up inside the bridge without ideally, or get a boat on the canal and reach up and things like that. So,
oh
and yeah, some are up
God.
trees.
Just imagine the
Uh,
health and safety executive have an absolute field day. Why
yeah,
are
luckily
you
it's
in
not
the
a work-related
Well,
thing,
I
so it's
was
not so
trying to get
bad.
a box that's hidden in the
Yeah,
bridge.
yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get my Tupperware box out,
Yeah.
and some of them are big, massive containers, and some of them there's organised events. There's so many aspects to it.
Sounds fascinating. Yes, certainly. I did know somebody that did get geocaching, and I can't remember when it was, but yes, she had great fun doing it. But yes, it's. I suppose there's all sorts of things. If you look hard enough, there are all sorts of things you can do outside, um,
Yes,
aren't there? Because
yeah,
I think, and everybody, I think, probably whatever you like to do, if you really do look hard enough, you can find something that sort of fits your own jigsaw puzzle,
yeah,
and sort of fits with what you enjoy doing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
being outside is great. And I saw a couple of days ago over in Japan, the doctors don't write ordinary prescriptions; they write forest bathing prescriptions
Mm.
for people.
Yes,
Um,
I saw that as well somewhere. Yeah,
yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. Go
yeah,
out
yeah,
and not, you don't have to literally bathe. Forest bathing is, being in the woods, being in nature,
yeah, yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's a great way to get people to, decompress and all the rest of it that, might you might be sort of bubbling and exploding and all the rest of it. And I think it's a great way to
Mm.
decompress out in nature, and the amount of greens that we have out there, the colours and everything, and just sit by a tree perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. And what was you hear about? I don't hear about them, but talk about fractals. The skyscapes make a massive difference as well. They're getting
Mm,
out so you can see the sky, or going in different parts of the world as well. The sky, of course, can be very different,
yeah,
and so that can make a difference to your eyes. It can refresh you. But yeah, it's a shame really because we shouldn't really need an excuse to go outside, but we do, and I'm the same. Like I say, that's
yeah.
why there's things there to make me go, oh, there's a geocache there. I'm going to go and get it. I'm going to go find
Mm.
it. And
We
yeah,
get
so now I'm
so
going to be made to go out and do something.
Absolutely. We do make need to make ourselves go out, don't we? I mean,
Yeah.
I there's an arboretum near me. It's probably about 8 miles.
Mm,
Um, and I joined as a friend of the arboretum.
mm,
And I thought, well, I'm going to make myself go once a month at least. When it's hot, I don't go. So in the summer, so I sort of make up for it in other times. And it's lovely because there's a section you can go. There's a stream that comes down. There's lakes. There's woodland. There's all sorts. And they just created another area which is called the Himalayas.
oh well.
And they sort of made hillocks,
Mm,
and planted plants around, like they do in the Himalayas, different species of plants that they grow around the hillocks. So it's very, very early days. So it's
yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see that area develop. But
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's
Sounds good.
if you go out, and pretty much everybody enjoys being outside. Okay, it's a bit different. You just dress for the weather, don't you? If it's pouring with rain, you just get your
Yeah.
togs on, your waterproof toggles on, and off you pop. I think it's um, I think very many of us we make up excuses, don't we? Oh, well,
Yeah.
perhaps, it might be a bit better tomorrow, and you end up sort of hours staring at a screen doing work, and you've not even had a breath of fresh air all day.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we do need to be mindful, don't we, of making sure that we're not staring at a screen all day. And I think some countries,
Yeah.
don't they? I think is it the Nordic countries? They actually program 5 minutes every hour where the computer gives a warning. You're going to be it's going to be you stopped, not closed down, but stopped. So you're going to have to leave your computer, save your work, and go off for 5 minutes. And I think
Mm.
that's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I've not heard of that, but yeah, I can imagine how you can do it. And yeah, I've seen apps for your phone where you can lock your phone for so many minutes a
Yeah.
day and things like that. So it makes you do something else. And I suppose that's the only thing with geocaching. It is phone based, so you are still looking at a screen and you are walking along with that thing in front of you,
Yes.
but you are at
At
least you're
least you're
going
outside
somewhere.
doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah.
stuck in an office or a room, or with all the rest of it. But yes, I think it's very important, isn't it, to
Mm.
to actually get air in your lungs. I mean, I've upped my walking. I'm trying to do as near to 10,000 steps a day if I can. I mean, I only sometimes get up to 7,000.
Yeah.
um, and I
But it's
set
still good.
my target at 6, so I don't get disappointed if I don't reach 10.
Yeah,
So I get rewarded, well, not rewarded, but a woohoo if I go over 6. So that's far
yeah.
better than not achieving what you think you
Yeah,
know what I
it can be
mean.
demoralizing. Yeah, if it's set
Yes,
too high, you're not hitting it ever. Then you're gonna get to a point where you don't bother. Yeah, so it's got to be achievable. But even then, 5,000, 6,000 steps is still a lot better than none or
yeah,
just a few while you're wandering around the house. Absolutely, as well as
yes,
the outside bit of it.
yes, and it's achievement and it's preventative. If you can do things
Yeah,
to prevent things happening, um, I think that is very much an important factor.
yeah,
And I think
definitely.
preventative actions are better than doing no actions at all, and things, your health perhaps going wrong. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
you have to just be mindful, I think, of what we do. And years ago, of course, people used to go out and do their dig in their gardens and all the rest of it
very true.
and I think we're coming back to that, aren't we? Where we are coming back to people, being aware of it's great to be out in nature.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's
And
far
in
more
a
prevalent.
way, I think the COVID sort of fostered that again, didn't it, for people? Because
Yeah,
people were looking for things to do, and they were valuing that half-hour walk rather than
yes,
it be a chore. Actually, now I want to go out and walk for half an hour because I can walk for half an hour,
yes.
or sneaking in a bit more sometimes. But yeah, so I think it did change people's habits. Hopefully, a lot of people have stuck to
I
st to,
think you're
to doing
right.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know it was
And I
not
think
not a good time, but
no,
there were some things that were, some positives came out of that
a
time, I
positive
think.
out of a negative, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
and as you say, it made people realize, and then they began to enjoy it,
yeah,
and I think people's views changed as well, didn't they?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, values, most definitely our
Yeah,
values changed. I think, and a lot of people moved house, a lot of people changed jobs as a
yeah,
result of it because they went, actually, I'm spending all my time working and I'm not valuing what I've got. And I've realized now that, and also because a lot of people suffered losses as well, which also makes you reevaluate what's happening around you and what you're doing.
yes. I think it does. Yeah, the greens, and I think that I heard that a lot of people, because they found that the greens calming outside, that more greens were being used indoors for decorations and colours
Mm,
indoors,
mm,
which is,
yeah,
no bad thing. And,
no,
indoor house plants.
yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
had a
that's
bit of
it.
a renaissance
It
in
has. Not with me.
house
I'm
plants.
not very good at indoor house plants,
You're
but
not? Oh,
the
um,
the best I ever had was some. I got into carnivorous plants, the fly-eating things.
Yes.
I made this nice tray. I think there was 3 or 4 of them in this tray, and
Hmm.
got them, I looked after them and I fed them with little bits of meat and little worms and things and stuff. And then one day came home and found this tray on the floor and just the stones and stuff out of it, and the dog had eaten all of the plants
Oh no.
and survived. I don't know how it survived, but because these,
Oh Lord dear.
yeah, just eating them just for
Oh
no
wow.
apparent reason. They'd done something to it to the dog that had upset the dog. So yeah, decided to eat all of them.
Oh
Ah,
dear. Yes. I have to I enjoy houseplants. I don't some of them die. I keep a spider plant beside my laptop, which tends to absorb the rays that come off the screen.
yeah, I guess I've
It
read that. Yeah,
yeah, and I've got one above my television as well. The one above the computer, it needs repotting. It's now huge. So it's obviously, it's doing its job.
thriving on the computer rays.
Yes. Yeah, well, yes, it's. I did a bit of research on indoor plants and what absorbs what chemicals that we have in our homes, and it was quite a fascinating little bit of research.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
very
But
good.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's been a fascinating chat, Steve. I think we've got. I
Thank
think
you.
there's probably maybe room for another. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Shall we find some things to talk about? Definitely.
Absolutely. Finding out the person behind a business. That's what we don't talk about here. It's all about the person.
But yeah,
But
yeah, that's
thank
it.
you
No,
so
very true.
much for taking the time to chat today. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the next one. But thank you again for your time, and bye to everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Thanks for having me along, and yeah, take care, everybody.